Hello, dear students. Today we are starting our new lesson. Again, we're at Compass Language Log, page 87. It is our topic number 5, and the name of our topic is Do Words Have Power? So open your books at page 81, and here we have got a grammar part, relative clauses. Relative clauses define people and things. Relative clauses give a definition of a people or a definition of some animal or thing. For example, there is the girl. We have got an information that there is the girl. But what kind of girl? If after the information some definition comes and we use who or that, it means we are using relative clauses. For example, there is the girl who lives next door, or there is the girl that lives next door. As you see here, we can use who or that for definition. Okay, we can say there is the girl who lives next door, or there is the girl that lives next door. If we define people, we can use both who or that. But if we define things or animals, we can't use who. We have to use only that. Okay, like here, there is the dog that barks a lot. And sometimes we can omit who or that. We can not use them, but not every time. When? If the clause has a subject, we can use it without who or that. For example, that's the boy I met last week. There is the dog we saw yesterday. So as you see, at the second part, this is the first part. That's a boy, and this is the second part. I met last week. At the second part, we have got a subject here. I. That's the boy I met last week. I can't say this sentence with who or that, like that's the boy who I met last week, or that's the boy that I met last week. But I can only omit it. That's the boy I met last week. Or here, there is the dog. It is the first part. And the second part is we saw yesterday. And as you see at the second part, we have got we. We is a subject. Okay, and here again, we can say there's the boy we saw yesterday, or there is the dog that we saw yesterday. Okay, so if you see here, there is the dog and that barks a lot. Here we have no subject after that. We have got no subject, and that's why we have to use that here. We cannot omit it. Okay, so here we have got a listening part. Listen and follow who or what are they talking about in each picture. Start, please.
1.
Are there any thingamies in the fridge? Sausages? No, I mean those yummy oval things that we eat for breakfast.
2.
Look, what's her name has a new car.
Who?
The woman who lives next door.
3.
Pass me the what's it?
Huh?
The thing we use to turn on the TV.
Okay, as you see in every picture, they used relative clause. And They ask us, circle the relative clauses. Let's circle the relative clauses. Are there any tangamis in the fridge? Do we have here relative clause? No. And what about, I mean those yummy old things that we eat for breakfast? Yes, here we have got a relative clause here. Those yummy old things, and they give a definition that we eat for breakfast. Okay, look, what's your name has a new car. No relative clause here. And the woman who lives next door. Here we have got a relative clause, and we use who here to define the woman. The woman who lives next door. And here, pass me the what's it? No relative clause here again. And the thing we use to turn on the TV, the whole sentence is in relative clause. And do we have any that or who? As you see, no. The thing, it is the first part, and we use to turn on the TV, it is the second part, and here we have got a subject, and that's why we didn't have to use that. But we could use it, yes. The thing that we use to turn on the TV, or we can say only the thing we use to turn on the TV. Great job. Now let's do some exercises. Complete the sentences, then write the person, thing, or creature. As you see, we have got the words. This is someone who does scientific experiment. Who is the person who does scientific experiment? Yes, it is scientist. This is someone that we wear, this is something that we wear to protect our eyes. The thing that we wear to protect our eyes is named safety goggles. This is a fantasy creature that has one horn. A fantasy creature that has one horn is unicorn. And this is someone who we see when we are sick. The person who we see when we are sick is a doctor. And here, in which sentence can you omit the relative pronoun? Let's think, where can we omit who or that? This is someone who does scientific experiments. We have to look at the second part here. Do we have subject here? No, there is no subject, and that's why we cannot omit pronoun. This is something that we wear to protect our eyes. The second part, we wear to protect our eyes. Do we have a subject? Yes, who? We wear, and that means that we can say it without relative pronoun. Let's try. This is something we wear to protect our eyes. Did you get it? Great. This is a fantasy creature that has one horn. That has one horn. We have no subject here, and that's why we cannot omit the relative pronoun. This is someone who we see when we are sick. We see when we are sick. We here is a subject, and that means that we can omit who. This is someone we see when we are sick. Great job. And here they ask us, write 3 definitions in your notebook. Choose words from the groups. You can use your notebook to do this exercise. For example, you can say about an art material. This is an art material that we use to paint. What is this? An art material that we use to paint is a paintbrush. A fantasy creature who can fly. Do you know a fantasy creature who can fly? Yes, a fairy can fly, for example. This is a job that helps students to learn. What is the job that helps students to learn something? Yes, the job of a teacher. This is a money word we use instead of paper money. A money word that we use instead of paper money. What do we use instead of paper money? Credit card. Yes, great. A type of art that Japanese people do with broken pottery. Do you remember? What is a type of art that Japanese people do with broken pottery? The name of that art was kintsugi, as you remember. And something in a science lab that we use for measuring liquids. Do you remember what is this? Something in a science lab that we use for measuring liquids. Yes, it is cylinder. Great job. I'm proud of you. Thank you very much and see you next lesson. Bye-bye.